All right, everyone. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to share this screen and get ready. All right. All right. So while I'm waiting on people to get in, all right, we're going to have a productive live today. As you see in the thumbnail, we're talking about EVs. So we're going to read off in just a minute some exciting news with different car companies. I want you to tell me if you're invested. Let me leave this note. All right. Are you? All right. Well, let's change that. Do you? All right. Let's get this thing started. All right. Well, let's not make it further ado. Let's go ahead and dive on in. If you got any comments, I'll be checking for comments back and forth. But we're going to be talking about in this video, we're talking about the EV sector. Coming into 2022, although the market is down, there are a lot of EV companies that's making moves, and we're going to be talking about some of them in this video. Also, we will be talking about in this video, we're going to talk about some future players in the EV sector. All right, so we're going to also talk about one of the trucks, a trucking company that's in the EV sector, and we're going to talk about them as well. So we're going to read articles about them, and then in the process of reading the articles about these car companies, we're going to go over to our Webull account, and we're going to look at the stock ticker. We want to see what the current price is. We want to see what the 52 week low, and we want to talk about the 52 week high. So right now, the first one that we will talk about is we want to talk about some news about Lucid Motors. We're going to dive on in this video. There's already the ticker is going. I'm not going to rush this video. So we're going to get some content out. So before we do that, let's talk about some of car companies that's in the EV sector that's ready to come out by next year. And you got the Lucid Air Pure. The Lucid Air Pure will be coming out soon. The range will be 406 miles. The price will be $77,400. All right, you're going to have the Tesla Cybertruck, and we're going to speak about the Tesla Cybertruck in this video as well. Up to 500 miles, and the starting price of this truck possibly will be $39,000. Now, it may be more. The shape and the look of this truck is a lot different than some EV trucks like Rivian or Lordstown Motors. But Elon Musk, he's thinking outside of the box. Also, we have the Ford F-150 Lightning. That's going to be another truck expected to ride mid-2022 up to 300 miles range. And when they say, let's when we talk about miles and range, and it's the battery life, right? Because these cars don't have a motor. The motors in a lot of these sector would be the battery of this of the car itself. Next, you got the Fisker Ocean, and we're going to talk about Fisker in here in this video. I'm just basically speaking about some car sectors that's ready, that will be released next year. You got the GMC Hummer EV, 350 miles. The price is $112,000. You got the Hyundai, the Unique, and the price range is 40 to 55,000, and the range is up to 303 miles. You got the Kia EV6, uh, beginning 2022. The range is 303 miles. The price is not having been determined. You have the Mazda MX 30, range 100 miles. So you better not go out of town on a car like that, because only on 100 miles, it's not going far. All right. You got the Rivian R1S, 316 miles, $70,000 is the price tag. You got the Nissan Aria, 300 miles, $47,125. The Volvo C40 Recharge, 200 miles, 55,000. And Mercedes, the EQS, 350 miles, 102,000. The BMW i4, 300 miles, 55,000. The BMW iX, up to 300 miles, $83,200. So let's talk about some of these cars on this sector. We want to talk about some of the cars, and how do you feel about getting into this sector itself? All right, so Lucid Motors CEO sees 25,000 electric cars in 4 years. So let's come over here to Webull, and let's go to the ticker before we get into the article. All right, so let's talk about Lucid. All right, right now, Lucid is trading at $40.05. I have done over 31 videos on Lucid. So it's definitely something that I'm very bullish about. All right, so today Lucid opened at $41.09. Today's high was $42.50. The volume 55.51 million. The 52-week high is $64.86, and the market cap is 65.94 billion. All right, the 52-week low is $9.94. So when you look at it in that aspect, right, you're thinking about it from the aspect that when Lucid was at $64, Lucid, Peter Rollison came out with a big boo-boo, right? He came out and overvalued Lucid stock. And that's one reason why they're being looked at by the SEC. And that's one reason why the stock dropped when it was like $55 2 weeks ago. The SEC wants to know, is Lucid being truthful? And we're going to talk about some of the other cars that's under the SEC radar, because some of these car companies are fabricating a story. They're not telling the truth. They're coming in the game and they're saying that some of these car companies are going to do X, Y, and Z, and a lot of them are not up to par on what they're overselling. And Lucid was definitely one. They came in the game. They told people that they was going to put out 6,000 cars, and it'd be a miracle if Lucid put out 6,000 cars. That's what they told the people. But it'll be a miracle if Lucid even put out 600 cars by the end of December. So we're going to go in and we're going to read some of the articles about Lucid. As you can see in the ticker, it's very, very red. For right now, the market is red in itself. The market is definitely red. And until the market improves, it's going to be red. Until the inflation improves, it may be red for some time. But let's read this article. I want to read up the most up-to-date articles about these companies, and we're going to talk about the stock tickers. So we're going to do back and forth. All right, so Lucid Motors CEO sees 25,000 electric cars in 4 years. Lucid Motors CEO Peter Rollison doesn't want to be doing wealthy people's cars, he told Access on HBO in an interview that aired Sunday. What it matters, Americans are warming up to the idea of electric cars, but the purchase price is still too high for many people, who is also who also worry about how far their car will go before the battery needs recharging. The 169,000 Lucid Air Dream, while financially out of reach for most people, has an unprecedented 520-mile driving range. Efficiently, that can be carried over to lower price models. The biggest challenge I've always faced was getting money, not going bankrupt, having that investment as a startup to develop this. Rollinson said, point to Lucid debut model. Start with this, but with my passion. Get this down from 169,000 to under 70,000 by the end of next year. Efficiently the key, and our technology will drive down the battery pack size in the car. And driving the pack size will drive down the cost, and that's where we get to a 25,000 thousand car. And I think that could come 3 to 4 years from now. But it likely won't be a 25,000 Lucid. Rollison also tells Axis. Instead, it will be other brands selling high volume models with smaller, cheaper battery packs based on Lucid efficiency breakthroughs. And that's one thing that Peter Rollison want to do. He want to allow other people to have his technology in a sense. So what is he doing is he's going to allow smaller car makers to look at Lucid's blueprint so they can go ahead and make cheaper cars on the same type of platform. And that's going to drive this stock crazy, because once other car companies spin off and do rebadged versions of Lucid, it's going to be a win-win for the EV sector. Now, when you think about it in this retrospect, right? Is Peter Rollison being truthful? He's been lukewarm, because some of the information he says it's going to have to be proven now that you came out with a lie. So I definitely I'm interested in how he's going to go about it doing this, but I'm really have mixed reviews about it. But it's going to be awesome, especially for the shares that I have in Lucid increase. That's going to be a great thing for me and my portfolio. So what's happening? Citing a growing urgency across the industry, Rollison told me many companies have approached him this year about potentially licensing Lucid technology. When pressed to name the car makers he's talking to, he said it's a mix of companies that recognizes the train going to leave the station and they don't want to miss it. But that worry, they don't have to have the time or resources to develop their own technology. Licensing revenue could be a big growth driver for Lucid, helping to finance further vehicle development, he said. But for now, the company primary focus is getting the first 500 or so models built at its Arizona factory into customers' hands before the end of the year. So my question is, do you think that Lucid will deliver? Right now, the startup, which briefly was worth more than Ford last month, still has a market capitalization of 62 billion. Now, we just read they have a market capitalization of 59 billion, so they had lost some ground since this article of 3 days ago. Rollison defended the valuation, telling Axis on HBO is because investors had conferred tech company status on Lucid that they don't assign to legacy automakers like General Motors or Ford. All right. He also defended ownership structure, which is 60% controlled by Saudi Arabia's foreign wealth fund, chaired by the controversial Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud, who was implicated by the CIA in the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. And we're not going to get into that. But tell me, do you have any of the Lucid stock? What do you think? Is this some stock that you think that you should get into, seeing how over the years some of these stocks 52-week highs have been very, very high. So put it in the comments, put it in the chat. What do you think? How do you feel? Do you think that Lucid have a great opportunity to grow? So let's discuss. Sorry, I'm drinking a little water. We're going to be here for a while. Next, let's talk about some news about EMBARK. All right, now, if you know anything about EMBARK, EMBARK is a building self-driving truck technology to make rounds safer and transportation more efficient. We are moving the entire trucking industry forward. And the reason why I'm speaking about EMBARK is because, in my opinion, this falls into the EV sector. This is an autonomous truck hub, and it's still a EV in my opinion. So I want to talk about this. So let's come over here. Let's talk about EMBARK. I believe it's MBK. I believe. Yep. All right. So right now, let's talk about EMBARK. They opened because they just came public not too long ago. They came public this year, and the opening today of EMBARK was $8.67, but the high for the day was $9.34. The 52-week low is $6.91, and the 52-week high of EMBARK is $10.49. They got a market cap of $3.86 billion. And the reason why I want to talk about EMBARK is because when you think about EMBARK in this sector, you're talking about the autonomous. And I probably could have spoken about this in another screen, but we're already talking about them now. When you see compared to some of the other car companies that I'm going to discuss, that's green. That means that EMBARK is doing things where they are doing things that other car companies feel that they would want to do, and that's being the black. In this case, the green. All right, so let's talk about EMBARK technology rallies after Barrett points to an autonomous software upgrade. All right, so let's click here. Let's just discuss some of it. And we're not going to read all of it because we got so much content to discuss today. But Barrett starts off coverage on EMBARK technology with the outperform rating as it points to the upside of the startup coming to the market using a software as a service model to deploy its autonomous solution. Analysis, George, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce that last name. All right, we are strong believers in the long-term potential of the autonomous vehicle market. We also endorse EMBARK's OEM agnostic, the SaaS-driven, trucking-focused business model, which is elegant, differentiated, and a testament to company management. Sticking points for EMBARK would be the risk of facing well-funded competition and the usual risks associated with the pre-revenue company with significant operational challenges. All right, so EMBARK trades at about 15% below his high mark since the SPAC deal. Barrett assigns a price target of $12 on EMBK to rep more than 30%. So let's talk about it. Do you think that you want to get into this space of this autonomous vehicle? I really think that this is going to be something that's going to help people in this sector. The autonomous business, even though I don't think that is a shortage on truck driving. People try to say that it is, but I don't really think that is a shortage on truck driving. I just think that is it's just going to have to be more people getting into the space. All right, so let's see. I think we got a comment here. Let's read off our comment. All right, we got a comment. Let's show our comment. This is from Aaron. All right, appreciate the comment. Please list below. Please put in the chat if you got any EV stocks that we're going to discuss today. That'll be helpful. Appreciate Appreciate the strong, Aaron. All right, so let's dive into the next car company that we're going to discuss today. And that car company is NIO, right? So let's get into NIO. NIO Day could jolt to NIO stock life while threatening Tesla Model 3 in China. All right, so notice it says China because NIO is a car company, a Chinese EV company, and they made this space because a lot of people that I know are invested in the NIO brand. But let's come over here. We're going to come into Webull, and we're going to let's see what Webull is looking. I mean, what NIO is looking like. All right, right now, NIO opened today at $31.05. It wasn't a lot of movement because the day's high was $31.64. So right now, the aftermarket, as you can see, is at $30.07. So the aftermarket, they lost it was some slippage there. And when you look at the actual graph, you can see that red is bearing its head. You definitely can see that, right? All right, so let's come up here. The volume is 40.60 million. The 52-week high is $66.99. The 52-week low is $29.06. So right now, NIO is actually flirting closer to their 52-week low, and that's a testament of what's going on, right? So they flirting with their 52-week low. Why did NIO basically went more than half of their 52-week high? Well, the market is down, period, but some companies are underperforming. But let's look at some positive news dealing with NIO. NIO Day could jolt. So right here, they say NIO is poised to unleash its newest electric vehicle, one that could threaten the Tesla Model 3 in China while kickstarting NIO stock back to life. Because right now, NIO stock is for the people that got into NIO possibly at $29 at that $29 low, and they saw their money go up to $66 and they rode that wave and didn't take any profits. Is a possibility that they're looking at their portfolio every day. Like I look at some of mine that I didn't take any profits, and they probably scratching their heads thinking, what can I do to get into that, get back to that 52-week high? Ahead of the 5th annual NIO Day on December 18th, the Chinese EV startup teased a new model reveal at the event. Like many others, Deutsche Bank Analysis Edison Yu expects that the model to be the ETA, the rumored smaller version of the NIO's flagship ET7 electric sedan, which was officially revealed in January. In a note, Wednesday, you predicted that the ET5 would be NIO's most affordable and highest volume electric vehicle yet. By 2023, he expects the ET5 to outsell its larger counterpart, estimating 65,000 deliveries that year versus 60,000 for the ET7. That's in part because you believes that it will start in the low 300,000 RMB, which is 46,000 range. By comparison, NIO's existing lineup of 3 premium electric SUVs, as well as the upcoming ET7 sedan, are priced in the 350,000 to 500,000 RBM, which equals to 55,000 to 78,000 range. In his note, Yu sees the ET5 taking on the Tesla Model 3 in China, as well as the BMW 3 Series and Audi A4. The made in Shanghai Model 3 starts at 40,100 after discounts. NIO plans 3 new EVs in 2022, including the ET7 sedan. The company, which hasn't debuted a new product in well over a year, is in need of a product refresh, analysts say. Meanwhile, the ET7 is seen challenging the Tesla Model S in China. So, what do you think? Do you think that not Lucid, Neo has an opportunity to really take on the Tesla Model 3 in China? Or does Neo need to stay in their own lane and figure out how to get back to that 52-week high at $66.99? In hindsight, Neo is making moves, and I hope that they get back to that point. But right now, they're definitely flirting closer to that 52-week that 52-week low, and I hope that they recover from that point. So right here it says shares of Neo fell 2.3 to $30.07 on the market today, further undercutting May's lows. The relative strength for once red hot Neo stock shows severe lag among the other EV stocks. Tesla dropped 5%, BYD rose 1.8, and Xpeng fell to 2.2, and Li Auto slumped to 1.5. So we definitely discussing how a lot of these stocks are dipping, and they rely upon great news in the market. No news in the market really bottoms up a stock. All right, so let's talk about Lordstown Motors, ticker RIDE. Let's talk about them. And what do y'all think? Do y'all think that Lordstown can recover? If so, how long do you think it's going to take for them to recover? All right, so let's come over here and let's talk about their 52-week low. I want to discuss the stock over and all. So let's discuss RIDE. That's the ticker. RID. All right. All right. So right here, RIDE opened today at $4.14. The high for the day was $4.27. The volume is 5.81 million. The 52-week high is $31.57. The 52-week low is $3.58. So this is another car company, and we're going to get into some news talking about RIDE. RIDE is a trucking company that that had a promising they were supposed to launch a long time ago. I think they ran out of funds, and in the aspect of running out of funds, the SEC really pulled a coattail because their former CEO, he lied. So how did Peter Rollison elude the lie versus this CEO eluding the lie? I'm not sure, but they since fired that CEO, and they went and started rebranding the company, so to speak. But that still doesn't stop all of this red in the market. That is blood red, right? Especially when you are looking like they're flirting with they're definitely flirting with their 52-week low. They only would just say 50 something, 40 something cents from that 52-week low, and they got to really do something to figure that part out. Because when you look at the 52-week high was $31.57, and that's because it came off a lie. When these car companies representatives lie, and then people start getting into that sector of the lie, what tends to happen is people go in big in these markets. And when they go in big and you don't get back to where you was, people lose faith in your company. But let's talk about some news dealing with RIDE, because a lot of these car companies need a lot of news. And right here, Foxconn, Lordstown Motors agreed to mortgage up to $500 million. An open-end mortgage instrument field in Trumbull County shows that Foxconn had extended up to $500 million in credit to electric vehicle manufacturer Lordstown Motors in return for the EV startup putting this plant and land up as collateral. So it was an even swap, no swindle moment, right? The documents were filed November 24th in the Trumbull County Recorder's Office. The agreement calls for Lordstown Motors to mortgage land, improvements, equipment, easements, fixtures, and personal property in return for the financing document shows. However, Lordstown Motors said that such agreements aren't unusual. Under Ohio law, when you record an open-ended mortgage, you enter declare a maximum amount, spokesman Kimberly Spell explained. This amount typically exceeds the amount of potential liabilities that will be secured by the mortgage. In November, Lordstown EV Company and Foxconn EV Technology Inc. announced that they had signed an asset purchase agreement that calls for Foxconn to acquire Lordstown Motors plant, land, and other assets for $230 million. In October, Foxconn made an equity investment in Lordstown Motors at $50 million at approximately $6.90 per share. According to the purchase agreement filed with regulators, Lordstown agreed to grant Foxconn the mortgage with respect to repayment obligations were related to Foxconn down payments towards the acquisition. So basically, Lordstown ran out of money. Let's just put it out there. Period. They ran out of money and they needed a big brother to come save them. Foxconn was that first company to save them, but Lordstown had to give up basically everything for this saving. They're at the mercy at Foxconn. If they renege on any part of this deal, it's not going to be a good thing for this sector. It's not going to be a good thing at all. Under the deal, Lordstown received an initial down payment of the purchase price of $100 million on or about November 18th, and will receive subsequent down payments of $50 million on and about February 1st, 2022, and another $50 million no later than April 15th, 2022, subject to certain conditions. The deal is expected to close April 30th. So what do you think, folks? Do you think that Lordstown did a good thing? Or do you think that they should have just filed for bankruptcy and went on about their business? Don't get me wrong, the truck is beautiful, but how many trucks would they have to sell to be able to come from under this type of agreement? This agreement with Foxconn may make some people real leery about getting in and investing into this space. All right, let's read the last part. The two companies have also agreed to pursue a joint venture agreement in which they would co-design, engineer, and develop vehicle programs for the commercial market in North America and internationally. In 2019, General Motors extended a line of credit of up to $50 million to Lordstown Motors so that the startup could purchase and begin retooling the Detroit automaker's former Lordstown complex. The $50 million secured by a mortgage of the plant was converted into a GM equity investment in Lordstown's, which the company merged with Diamond Peak Holdings, a blank check firm that took Lordstown Motors public in October 2020. GM still owns about 4.5% of Lordstown Motors stock. Foxconn, a major electrics company traditionally known as a manufacturer of iPhones, has over the last 18 months moved into the EV market. In October, the company unveiled 3 EVs through its joint venture with Taiwan-based Yulon Motor Group. Okay, so as you know, that Foxconn will build the Fisker Ocean out of the plant. So there will be automakers that will take them up on this offer and definitely get into that sector of this plant and start building out that sector. Meanwhile, Lordstown Motors continues to move forward with its efforts to launch the Endurance. Last month, the company said it would delay commercial production of the vehicle into third quarter of 2022. It had earlier stated that the commercial production could start during the second quarter of that year. I think they pushed it back so they can make the money off the Fisker Ocean. So, what do you think? Do you think that they're making a great move by pushing it back, by borrowing so much money before they even get in the game? So many companies are going to own them, and so to speak, and that's how I look at it. But when you in the game, one thing that you have to do, you have to remind yourself and say, I must do whatever is necessary to keep my doors open. And that's how these big players play. So that 500 million along with 50 million from Ford GM is a big deal. All right, so let's get into the next car sector. And this will make surprise many people. I have done videos on this. This may surprise you, like I said. And we're going to talk about Naked, right? We're going to talk about Naked. Let's pull up while we're doing this. Let's pull up one more window. All right, we're going to pull up one more window while we're waiting on it to manufacture, get into position. And what we want to talk about, all right, let's pull this car company up. And we're going to talk about Naked. Now, if you go right now and you look up Naked, honestly, what you're going to be looking at, you're going to be looking at an automotive company that's you're going to be looking at a swimwear clothing company, on time realtor. That's what you're going to be looking at. But in this space, it's going to be a little different now because Naked had quite a few time. One moment, let me read some messages. Naked had a little time to get into the space and for them to stay on the NASDAQ. What they had to do, they had to get into the space and find a company to partner with. But the problem was no company wanted to partner with Naked. So Naked, because they're a clothing company, Reddit helped push them when they came out. Oh, okay. So we got a super sticker here. Let's go and show this on the screen. I want to thank you for the super sticker. All right, let's tell. All right, one moment. Let's read some next. But I appreciate the super chat, Mr. Aaron. All right, trying to get this here. All right, so what Naked had to do was they had to find a company to partner with. But the problem was in finding that company to partner with, it became hard because no company wanted to partner with a retail company that was failing. But to their advantage, Naked was on the NASDAQ. So they was already on the NASDAQ. They had a certain amount of time to bring their stock back to $1. And if they didn't bring that stock back to $1, then they were going to be put in the realm of being a penny stock. So when that time came, Naked didn't find that company to merge with, so they requested a 90-day extension. And in the process of finding that 90-day extension, what they end up doing is they found the car company that wanted to go public, but was a privately traded company. And that company is Centro. And the good thing about Centro is they already have 3,300 cars on the road, but they didn't have enough money to fulfill all of the orders or the pre-orders that came in. So that's when Naked got into the space and they was like, we're going to get into the space of this. So let's talk about some of the stuff in this article. If you looked away from the transformation of Naked Brand Group in November, then you missed the bombshell. That's saying a lot, given that naked stock investors have been experiencing. A few clothing retail companies have undergone the turmoil that this one has in the past 2 years. And with the pandemic's impact on the retail landscape, that also saying a lot. But the latest development is the most out of left field thing to happen to this penny stock and Reddit trader favorite, bar none. In November, Naked Brand announced the planned acquisition of Centro Automotive Company. And we're going to go over to Centro and we're going to talk about Centro a lot more. That's right. Naked Brands has pivoted dramatically and will soon be electric vehicle company. And that's not just any EV company, one that already has a proven lineup of commercial vehicles in production, sales in the order book, and bragging rights for having more of its commercial EVs in use by customers than any other manufacturer. Naked stock remains a penny stock, making it perhaps the biggest bargain in the red hot EV sector. Or we'll be assuming Naked shareholders approve the acquisition at a December 21st meeting. Now, I'm invested in Naked, and I definitely will approve this transition because think about it in this aspect. If people allow this stock not to go through, like when the Yahoo investors voted down Microsoft, when Microsoft offered them what was like $40 billion to absorb Yahoo, and Yahoo turned down. After that happened, Yahoo became pennies on a dollar. Yes, they still, in retrospect, a billion-dollar company, but they would never be worth $40 billion like they were before. Yahoo should have took the deal. And Naked, I'm a vote to take the deal. I think you should vote to take the deal because if not, then Naked will not be on the NASDAQ anymore. And basically, this company probably will have to file for bankruptcy. So they're going to have to do whatever they can to stay in the game. And I'm a vote to take the deal. Just a few years ago, Naked Brands was the owner of a number of brick and mortar clothing retail chains. In trouble before the pandemic, the company found itself shutting doors and selling off brands through 2020. In 2021, it was focused on online sales by its Fredericks of Hollywood lingerie brand while developing an e-commerce platform of its own. While all of this was going on, Naked stock faced the threat of delisting and becoming a meme stock. In a move that no one could possibly have seen coming, on November 8th, Naked Brands announced its planned acquisition of Centro. The all-out stock deal would see Naked Brands change its name to Centro, but keep the NAKD ticker. It makes some sense that Naked Brands would do this, but why would Centro agree to the deal? Naked Brands has a cash war chest and already a publicly traded company. Centro is essentially using the deal as a shortcut to going public. The company said as much as in the news release. All right, so let's just dive down here so you can understand why I think that this is an excellent deal. The acquisition press release include the information that Centro has already produced and delivered over 3,300 commercial electric vehicles. The company is expecting revenue of 25.3 million of sales of 1,500 units in 2021. Many of these vehicles are small units used by municipal fleets. With the growing order list, the latest order was 2,000 of its Metro EVs in Japan. Centro projects it is in the track for 2.1 billion by 2023. So let's come over here onto Centro so you can get a good look of the car itself. Centro Automotive is a leader in commercial electric vehicle sales and production. Now, one thing I like about this is so far until the deal goes through, You won't see any news about Naked on this platform. But we're going to talk about some news, some more news about Naked, and then we're going to talk about the ticker. I want this video so you can see the video, you can see it play, which I think is pretty dope. Some of the graphics in the vehicle, they did a lot of news. I mean, a lot of details into it. So right now, 3,300 vehicles delivered, 20 million miles traveled, 238 patents granted, 32 countries certified, 26 countries shipped, 6+ assembly plants. And it's about to be another assembly plant, and we're going to discuss that in just a minute. Meet the smallest delivery solutions on the planet today. I love the logo. I like the full tinted front of the car is pretty dope. I like the future driven by technology, apps to make autonomous ECVs to the next level. So some aspects of Centro will be autonomous. This was a no-brainer for me to invest in this space. It might not be a no-brainer for you to invest in it as well. Look like we got another comment. One moment. That's a good question. All right, so I have been reading about that. Okay, so let's put this up here. I have been reading about that. Will Naked abandon the clothing company all by itself? And honestly, I haven't seen anything, any news about whether they're going to continue doing the clothing sector. In my opinion, they'll probably continue with the partners that they have, but in the future, they're probably going to abandon it once they get into a new space by 2023, because by 2023 they're saying that they're going to have about 2.1 billion in sales. So I think that they probably will abandon it by then. So that's an excellent question to ask. All right, so let's go over here one more time and let's point out to the news. And we're going to talk about the news. This is definitely what I want to discuss in this video. In this video, on yesterday, one thing that was significant was Centro is actually a European company, but they are now going to bring their services over to the United States of America, and they have chosen Jacksonville, Florida as a place to be. So we're not going to read all of this, but we're going to just read some details about it because I think this is excellent news. Electric vehicle manufacturer Centro Automotive selects Jacksonville, Florida site for new U.S. manufacturing facility. Company to create 34 jobs, invest 25 million in new state-of-the-art facility, and utilize Jacksonville Port Authority to import materials and export finished vehicles. This is the way that they're going to bring Centro to America, and they use one of the biggest port cities to do it. So like I said, we're not going to read all about this, but this has been excellent news. So let's come over here to and look at the ticker, because I think that this is excellent. All right now, Naked ain't looking so pretty, right? But one thing that I would say with all of that news that I just revealed, I'm not saying that Naked is going to be a game changer when the merger go through on the 21st of this month, but all of these plans that's going into place is going to drive this stock higher than 50 cents a share. Right now, it opened at 51 cents today. The high was 52 cents. The volume is 31.68 million. The 52-week high is $33.40. The market cap, 479 million. The 52-week low was 14 cents. Now, true indeed, And when you look at the market, it's definitely low, right? It's definitely red, blood red. But I definitely think with all of the news that's coming out with this company, it's definitely going to be a game changer because people are gearing up for this merger to go through. And I encourage you at least to have about 500 or more shares um, of this company. So I know I spoke quite in deal about Naked because that's how much bullish I am about this company. I have done a lot of research on Naked, and I really think that this is a way that people are going to have a increase their portfolio. All right, so now let's talk about another car company that will be coming into effect in uh, next year. This car company is not on the NASDAQ at all, but this is going to be a game changer for people that's waiting on this stock to come true. And this stock is actually the head ambassador of this stock is Leonardo DiCaprio. Also, uh, the parent company of Polestar is Volvo. And Volvo China is the company that heads Polestar. So Polestar is technically going to be like a Chinese company. And the more news that's coming about Polestar, the more value that's coming in effect. Like I said again, this company is not on the ticker, so it makes no sense for me even to go over there and discuss the ticker. But we're going to talk about the car in itself. All right, 2022 Polestar 2 EV gains power and range. The long range single motor variant earned an EPA estimated of 270 miles of range, beating the corresponding Tesla Model 3, and the dual motor version adds 38 horsepower. So if you want to get a glimpse of what the car looked like, this is what the car looked like, right? Not a bad looking car at all. And then we're going to discuss some of this. Thank you for all who took the time to get in and who has taken the time to listen to me rant and rave about some of these stocks. The EPA has estimated that Polestar 2 electric hatchbacks long range single motor model at 270 miles of driving range. That model uses the same 75 kilowatt battery as the more powerful dual motor version, making 231 horsepower instead of the dual motor model's 208 horsepower. Polestar Volvo's electric vehicle subsidiary announced plans to add 3 new models to its lineup in the next few years, hoping to make the brand more popular and increase sales. For the one model that is currently on sale, the 2 hatchback, Polestar has announced that its new single motor variant has been EPA estimated at 270 miles. It is soon adding more power to the dual motor variant through an over the air update. The 2's long range single motor model uses the same, and we already read that part. So let's skip down here. Owners of the 2 long range dual model will soon have the opportunity to gain 68 horsepower and 15 pound-feet of torque to increase output to 476 horsepower and 502 pound-feet. Polestar says that the over-the-air performance update will be available soon and that pricing and availability will be announced in a few months. The Polestar 2 is on sale now starting at $47,200 for the long-range single motor and $51,200 for the long-range dual motor. Those starting prices making the Polestar only slightly more expensive than the Tesla Model 3. So what I want to point out, like I just said, this car is not on the NASDAQ yet. They will be hitting in 2021. So when they start trading publicly, be on the lookout because This is going to be a game changer. And remember, sometimes the earlier you get in it, then you can ride that wave up to a greater portfolio. All right, it's one that I don't have on my list. Let's get this on the list. All right. All right, so let's get that there. All right, so now that we didn't discuss Polestar, let's get into a EV that had cars on the road already. I don't think that their car was 100% EV, but they shut down at one time and now they are coming back. I drove, and that's the Fisker. Remember, all of these cars were supposed to be a Tesla, a stopper, but the only car that has had continuous success on the road is Tesla, and that's why they are trading at over $900 a share. All right, so let's get down to, and we're going to discuss Fisker with some information that we're going to talk about. Remember, I did say that Foxconn will be helping the Fisker Ocean come in full effect, and that's why the Lordstown had to push back some of their production, and that's because Fisker got the money and they got the chips. Some of Lordstown problem and the reason why they got to go public in the third quarter is because Lordstown do not have the chips. All right, 2021 key news for Fisker includes agreements with Magna International, Foxconn, and CATL. So let's get into some of the article so you can understand a great deal of the article, right? And we're not going to go too fast. So Fisker Ocean reservations stand at 18,600 as of November 2nd, 2021. And she'll build in 2022 with experience centers opening. Production began on November 17, 2022. And the reason why you might say, why so many of these companies are pushing back the production range, and that's because the chips. A lot of these car companies don't have the chips. Lordstown don't have the chips. So they got to push back a lot of their production further down the line. There's two car companies that's coming into play to help manufacture more chips, and that's GM and Ford. They're kind of partnering up to manufacture more chips. But until that happens, a lot of these cars cannot be manufactured. All right, valuation still looks very appealing based on Fisker price targets for long-term investors. Considerable risks still apply. However, they have lessened somewhat in 2021. I do much more than just article. Well, we ain't got to read that. So this is the car, right? That's the Ocean. So let's go look at the ticker of Fisker. Let's come over here and let's look at that ticker. All right, FSR is the ticker. All right, right now, Fisker opened today at $18.09. The high today was $18.29. The volume is $7.57 million. I'm doing a lot of reading, folks. Don't crucify me. The 52-week high is $31.96. The 52 low is $9.61. All right, the market cap is $4.97 billion. And right now, as you can see, there's a lot of blood in the water. These waves are blood. Now, Fisker going to have to cover some more ground. In the process of covering some of that ground, what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to start producing cars. When they put cars on the road, that's going to help them greatly, right? All right, so you can see the ticker, FSR. I'm not telling you what cars to invest in or not invest in. It's just that the EV space, like I wish when car companies, when I was younger, I wish I had the knowledge to invest in a lot of car companies like these new car companies. Now I'm taking the liberty to put my money where my mouth is. And I'm doing this video not for fun. I'm doing this video teaching people how to place their money, right? So let's talk about another car company. This car company has had a lot of ups and downs. I'll be grateful when they eventually get a car on the road. And that car company is Faraday Future, reaches production milestone 3 with the start of construction of all remaining production areas at Hanford plant. And this is one reason why Faraday Future dropped greatly. And that was because uh, people filed SEC complaints because they did not believe that Faraday was going to do what they said it was going to do. Let's not pretend. Faraday has a lot of hiccups in the road. The last CEO, he did tell some fibs, and in the process of telling those fibs, a lot of people did not. A lot of people did not make their money back initially when they went public. The wife of the original CEO ended up filing for divorce, and she couldn't even leave China at the time. It just a lot of stuff happened with the company, but right now Faraday is trying to make right a lot of their wrongs. Faraday Future Intelligent Electric Inc., a California-based global shared intelligent electric mobility ecosystem company, today announced that it has started foundation construction for all remaining production areas at its Hanford, California manufacturing plant, including body, um, perlusion, warehouse, and vehicle assembly. Interior foundation work in the production area is now advanced. Major mechanical system, including electrical and plumbing, are being installed now, and Faraday Future will begin installation of production and assembly equipment soon. So we're not going to read all of this, but let's look at some of their milestones, and then what we're going to look at the ticker. Milestone 3: start foundation construction for all remaining production areas, including body, perlusion, warehouse, and vehicle assembly. Milestone 4: pre-production builds for final engineering, validation, and certification vehicles. Milestone 5: start all major mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems to support equipment installation. Milestone 6: complete construction, equipment installation, and final vehicle manufacturing areas. And final milestone, SOP, summer 2022. So what they're trying to do is get the Faraday Future 91 car on the road. And for those who never have seen this car, let me pull the car up so you can get a glance of how it looks. All right, so let's go pull this car right here. This car costs a pretty penny. That's the car right here. This car is going to cost, I believe, like $160,000 or $80,000. Let's get a clear picture of it. All right, right here, 180. I was correct. So the Faraday 91 also has 1,000 plus horsepower, capable of propelling the occupants from 0 to 60 miles an hour in about 2.6 seconds. But it should retail for about $180,000, right? So that's something that you can think about what's going on with the car company. Okay, so let's keep going on. All right, so let's keep going. All right, so let's make sure I'm still on. Yeah, I'm still on, still sharing my screen. All right, so let's come over here. Let's get out of that. All right, so let's talk about Rivian. And I love the new news about Rivian, even though the stock dropped when they released their third quarter revenue numbers. Oh, I didn't discuss Faraday. I didn't discuss Faraday. So let's discuss Faraday ticker before I go too far. Faraday future. All right, so this is Faraday future right here. All right, so right now, Faraday future and electric is trading at 94 cents. Is this the right one? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I don't think Faraday is that low. All right. Faraday is not that low, is it? Am I looking at the right one? All right, this looked more like it. I knew that wasn't right. All right, right now, Faraday opened at $4.74. The high was $4.99. That I'm speaking about today. The volume is 1.88 million. The 52-week high is $20.75. The 52-week low is $4.51. The market cap is 1.55 billion. And right now, you can see that Faraday is making some moves, and the moves that they're making definitely got them trending in the right way. So right now, after hours, they're at $4.79. So they're definitely going in the right direction. Will they get back to their 52-week high? That's definitely something to think about. But we want to keep that in retrospect. We're going to talk about two more car companies, and then we're probably going to end this video, but I'm having so much fun. All right, so right now, let's talk about Rivian and some news about Rivian. Like I said, when they released their third quarter revenue numbers, the stock dropped. It's the first earnings report of Rivian since its November IPO and since the EV startup began limited deliveries. Rivian also announced plans for a second factory in Georgia. Wall Street Analysis began coverage of the company last week, with most of them initiating Rivian stock at a buy. All right, wait a minute. All right, Wall Street Analysis began coverage last week. Most of them initiate Rivian stock at a buy rating, although there were a few holds as well. Price target range from $104 to $165 a share, with the mean around $134 a share. Rivian has begun deliveries of its all-electric trucks. As of December 15th, Rivian produced 652 R1Ts and delivered 386. It has also produced and delivered its first R1S, a 3-row 7-passenger SUV. Volume production of the R1S is slated for the spring. Earlier this week, Motor Trend named the Rivian R1T its truck of the year of 2022. The award is another feather in Rivian's cap, as it beat out Tesla and other automakers in bringing the first all-electric pickup truck to market. And let's dive over here and let's look at where's Rivian trading at. All right. RIVAN. All right. What's their ticker? Okay, here we go. All right. So right now, let's look at their numbers. All right. Rivian opened today at $116. The high for the day was $117. The volume was 13.56 million. The 52-week high was $179 a share. The market cap is $92.85 billion. The 52-week low is $95.20. After market, Rivian is $108.87. So and right now they're saying after hours is between 98.99 a share. So as you can see, although it's great news going on with Rivian, it's still blood red. But with inflation, a lot was going on. The market has crashed a lot. Portfolios. but a lot of people are in it to win it. You got to be prepared for 80% highs and 80% lows when you get into that market sector. But Rivian is definitely a car company that a lot of people are bullish on, especially when you deal with the aspect that Amazon owns about 20% of the company, and Ford owns about 12%, and T. Rowe owns about 19%. So those three representatives in this company put this in a different place where people are bullish about the company. All right, so we're coming down to the end. We're going to talk about the last two cars, and we're going to talk about right now Canoe. We want to speak about some news about Canoe. Canoe ends partnership with VDL Netcar to manufacture EVs in Europe. Partners with VDL instead, right? Electric vehicle startup Canoe is ending this deal with Dutch automotive manufacturing company VDL Netcar to serve as its contract manufacturer in Europe. According to a Securities and Exchange Commission filing on Wednesday, a separate filing reveals that Canoe will also be exploring a new deal with VDL Group, another Dutch auto manufacturing company to produce vehicles in the U.S. We appreciate the months of effort VDL Netcar invested to provide us with the contract manufacturing option, but we have concluded that building in America is better aligned with our mission and current focus to invest in the communities that states that are investing in high-tech manufacture along us, creating American jobs and innovation, said Tony Aquella, Canoe CEO, in the filing. To support from Oklahoma and Arkansas will allow us to achieve SOP earlier and with less risk on many fronts. As part of the breakup, VDL Netcar will return Canoe's repayment of $30.4 million, and as part of the new partnership, VDL Group will purchase $8.4 million of Canoe stock. The news come about a month after Canoe shared plans to move its headquarters and an advanced manufacturing industrialized facility to Bentonville, Arkansas, where Walmart is also headquartered. So Bentonville, Arkansas have a number of Fortune 500 companies there, and I believe Canoe feel that possibly that they will be one of those companies in the future. During Canoe's second quarter earnings call, Aquila had estimated VDL Netcar would produce up to 25,000 units of the automaker's lifestyle vehicle in 2023, but it appears that those vehicles will now be manufactured in Arkansas. Canoe is also working on a mega micro factory in Oklahoma, which is expected to come online in late 2023. So it's a lot of space to get into these companies early before they really start running. So let's come over here and let's look at this ticker. And let's look at what Canoe is doing right now. Am I going to the right one? Is this the right one? No, this is not the right one. Let me go to the other one. Let's see. I think I clicked on the wrong one. All right. I think this is the right one here. All right. Right. This is the right one. This is the ticker GOEV. Today's high was $9.19. The day's low was 19. The open of the day was $9.19. The high was $9.47. The 52-week high is $24.90. The 52-week low is $5.75. Right now, they got a market cap of $2 billion. Right now, aftermarket is at $8.42. Right now, this is another car company that's in the red. You know me, I'm to say buy on the dip, buy as low as you can, because you get low as you can. And if this car company can get back to their 52-week high, then you're in the game to win yourself. So And the last car that we're going to talk about on our list, this has been fun, would definitely be the new Tesla Cybertruck spotted with giant windshield wiper that troubles Elon Musk. So this is the car. Let's play it. Can you play? Okay. I don't look like it can play. Look, okay, here we go. This is a slideshow. Let's play that slideshow. All right, let's get out of here. Look like it's just a steal. All right, so let's come right here. This is the truck. A lot of people are not feeling this truck, but just like the shoes that Kanye West put out, a lot of people don't like them. But the thing about it is they sell out this very same day. This truck is going to sell. People have been looking at this prototype for a long time, and I think that they're going to be on they're going to be in the market for it, right? So right here, a new electric Cybertruck prototype was spotted by a drone photographer being tested at Tesla's Fremont, California facility, equipped it with several new features not seen. Sorry about that. They don't know that I'm doing the live here. All right. So this is how the truck going to look. This truck will hit the market in 2022. So you will see this truck on a road near you. And I know this video is going to end soon, but I want to know, how do you feel about this truck? Do you think that this can be a truck that you look at the future of how vehicles are going to start to look? Because over time, they might look funky to us, but to the new kids, this is going to look normal, right? This is how the new kids are going to look at these type vehicles. They're going to look at these vehicles and they're going to think that this is not natural. This is, they're going to look crazy to us, but the Cybertruck is going to look normal to the kids. So let's look at this. The ticker of Tesla. I think they was trading at 900, but let's see what they're at right now. All right, let's see what they're at. All right, so right now, Tesla aftermarket is $926. They opened today at $994. The high of the day was $994.98. The market cap is $930 billion. The 52-week high was $1,243. The 52-week low is $539. Right now, you can see also Tesla is down, but that doesn't change the fact that they are definitely set to go higher with new vehicles coming to play. Tesla is set to run again. So, like I said, in this video, this has been fun. I definitely want to talk about the EV sector. So in the next video, we definitely will be talking more about some more research that I'm gonna get into. I want to talk about some more blockchains. Right now, I want to speak about Avalanche. Well, I spoke about Avalanche last week, and now since then, Avalanche has overtaken Terra Luna to become number 10 again. But I'm loving what I see. I know that the market is down, but one thing I do like is that a lot of companies are fighting to stay afloat. They're cooking up good news. So this has been fun. I want to keep going live. I want to keep bringing attention to this channel. All right, this is Antonio. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Once we end the video, if you got anything that you want to discuss that I have not discussed in this video, please let me know. And we definitely will discuss those aspects of that in the future. And once again, this is Antonio with Team Tiggio. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time.